Alonso not playing is an enormous loss to Real. And I just feel it. Although we might be taught, this might be decided on hamstrings, Jim. Costa's hamstring or Ronaldo's hamstring. Which one sees out 90 minutes?
Jimmy Redknapp?
I'm going to go for Real Madrid. I have to be honest though, talking to Xabi Alonso off air there, he didn't seem too confident about Ronaldo's hamstring, so that is a worry. I just think they've got a little bit more quality going forward. It's going to be a fascinating encounter because both sides are so much to lose for Real Madrid. This Atletico side are full of warriors. I'm just going to go for Real Madrid.
Jimmy Carragher?
I said Real at the start, I'm going to stick with them.
You never?
Yeah, I did. But you said Bayern Munich. And I'll stick with them. And I just think they may just edge it because they have to win. They have to get this result because if they lose this, it'll be a nightmare for them. Xabi Alonso mentioned that, how big it is, the Decima. Big pressure on them, I think they may just do it.
Question might be, I suppose, continuing the nautical theme, who will have the wind in their sails in this Champions League final of 2014? There have been 135 flights arriving, 3 times the norm between Madrid and Lisbon. Not many of them will have come to see that lady, I think it's fair to say, Maritza, who will be singing the Champions League anthem with the traditional haunting Fado style, but they'll no doubt listen, knowing that they are within moments of what should be one of the sporting occasions of the year. You can only imagine what they feel at the moment, can't you? Cristiano Ronaldo looking like he is relishing the occasion. This Estadio de Lucia wash with fans. It has atmosphere with a capital A. It's the Champions League final of 2014 with our commentators Gary Neville and first Martin Tyler.
Well, thank you, Jeff. Good evening, everyone. Spain's most decorated club and their newly crowned neighbours have created a unique occasion. But both clubs have come in with fitness issues. And of course the suspended Xabi Alonso, a problem that had to be sorted out, and the job goes to Sami Khedira. Those doubts seem to remain about Cristiano Ronaldo, but he does start, carrying Benzema too. But Pepe hasn't made it, although he is on the bench, and Rafa Varane comes into the centre of the Real defence. Gareth Bale, incidentally, only the 5th Welshman to participate in the 59 finals of this illustrious competition. The Iberian evening does have a more Northern European ingredient, and officials from Holland, led by the referee Bjorn Kuipers. Well, to our total amazement, Diego Costa, whose suspect hamstring gave way on the way to the winning of the league just a week ago, he does take part in this Atletico lineup. He seems off to Chelsea, probably followed by goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois, who's 3 years on loan from Stamford Bridge, may well finish tonight. Arda Turan hasn't made it, he misses out. Raul Garcia takes his place. David Villa is the only Atletico player who has won the Champions League before. He did it with Barcelona 3 years ago. Well, your former teammate?
Absolutely, hero moments. This is what he lives for. You get players who get nervous and anxious in moments like this. It's such a huge occasion, but him definitely not. He has huge ambition, And tonight, you'd have to think that structure that Atletico Madrid have and the way in which they defend, that Ronaldo is the star quality, the star man who can unlock it.
And Diego Costa, who was in tears a week ago, fearing his hopes of playing in this final were dashed. He at least starts. So there are two prime fitness issues to keep an eye on. So blue chip, kick off against blue collar workers really. Uptown Real Madrid, downtown Atletico, their rundown stadium. But they're here as equals in the Champions League final, the first local derby in a European final ever. But we've had all English finals, of course, all Italian, all German last year, and even all Spanish since the turn of the century. So I guess this was a logical conclusion, but the odds were very much against it when it all started in September. Gareth Bale wasn't fit then. He's certainly fit and flying now. Trained here last night. It was a light session for Real. They actually had a private session earlier in the day elsewhere in Lisbon. Atletico were very intense in their workout, as they were carrying the warm-up here.
Absolutely. Intense right the way through. Those wide areas are going to be really interesting. Felipe Luis and Juan Fran against Bale and Ronaldo.
Well, Carlo Ancelotti gets married later in the summer. Be a perfect wedding present, this.
It's all or nothing with Madrid. You win and you're a hero. You lose the game, you usually lose your job. There's no in-between usually with Real Madrid.
They are the winners of the Spanish Cup, but I think third in the league, and Spanish Cup winners wouldn't be enough, really, for the demands of the Bernabeu. Here's Luka Modric. We have got this match between two teams who know pretty much everything there is to know about each other. It will be decided by fine margins. Sergio Ramos. Carvajal has been playing at right back. Arbeloa is fit again to be on the bench, but has missed the key portion of the last few weeks. Not really in consideration to begin the match. Diego Simeone has built a team, almost an ultimate team. And it's easy, Gary, to think of this as a team in red and white stripes against individuals all in white. But I think that underplays it for Real Madrid. You saw the games against Bayern when they absolutely wiped the floor with them in the end, and that's teamwork as well as great individual play.
No, they put in great teamwork over the games against Bayern Munich, particularly Xabi Alonso and Luka Modric in that centre of midfield, who are fantastic, disciplined, sacrificed themselves for the evening in what were unusual performances for those two.
And goes Cristiano Ronaldo, certainly been playing the popularity card here. Not exactly his hometown, but he grew up here, came as a schoolboy into Sporting's academy. Left still a young man for Manchester United because he has tasted disappointment in this stadium in a major final 10 years ago for Portugal in the European Championships. And they were beaten by Greece. And some, if you know your football history, you look at Greece and say, well, they're a bit similar to Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, similar style. I mean, it is just a classic 4-4-2 Atletico Madrid. Two compact banks of four, two dropping in square up front.
Here's Di Maria, who should not be neglected when you look at potential match-winning individuals. Gavi, the captain of Atletico.